Girls are here. 3 women bound to wheelchairs.
I don't move my legs unless I pick them up and throw them over my head. Oh, honey.
But unbound in life.
She wants to share something with everyone.
There is brightness in your eyes. We're talking about those moments when your life... Your great show today, all about how your life can change in an instant, just like that. You hear the stories all the time. Today, our guests are sharing stories about the moment that changed their life. The Sundance Channel's critically acclaimed network series, Push Girls, follows the lives of an amazing group of women, all of whom saw their lives changed in an instant. Roll it.
Within seconds, my whole life changed.
I was paralyzed from the neck down.
I was hit in a head-on vehicle collision. I was just growing into myself.
The doctor said you'll never walk or dance again.
They pronounced everyone dead on scene, including myself.
In the aftermath of horrific tragedy, these women, Tiffany, Mia, Ati, and Angela, found each other.
I didn't ever think I'd have a close friend in a wheelchair. Once we found each other, we formed this bond.
Good job.
I think the hardest thing about being in a wheelchair is other people's perception.
As they learn to navigate their altered lives, they are supported by those who love them most.
You know, my biological clock is ticking right.
You ready to have a baby now?
I found my soulmate.
I miss you, babe.
In some ways, I think the accident saved your life.
I'm proud of you and I love you.
Experiencing the good times and the bad together.
We are so strong individually, so together that just makes it even more dynamite.
Ati, Angela, and Tiffany are here. 3 of the Push Girls. Mia, the 4th, couldn't be here because of family commitment. So, first of all, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Because one of the things that has been fun about doing this show is opening new worlds up to people and breaking down stereotypes and letting the audience ask questions that they might never have the courage to ask.
That's what we're all about.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that, and I feel that from the show. I feel an openness and a spirit that is contagious.
It is definitely contagious, and we have a spirit that wants to be contagious.
Angela, did the show start around you originally?
It did start with me, and it was about the story with my best friends and I shared the story with my executive producer, and she understood it, because it doesn't matter whatever you're going through, whether it's losing breast to breast cancer, losing a loved one, whatever catastrophic event. So many people, I had noticed that they would lose themselves inside completely, and there was a light that would dim, and it broke my heart. And the thing that I share with my girlfriends is we've dealt with catastrophic events,
right?
But we've shined beyond it, and we know who we are as
you
individuals.
guys were friends.
Yes.
You didn't become friends on the show.
No.
You were
best
friends.
sisters.
I always say the common denominator is our wheelchair, but it's not about our wheelchair, it's our essence and who we are. Yes.
What is, when you say who we are, what is the most common thing that, I mean, do you guys get stared at everywhere? Because in addition to being in a wheelchair, you're all very attractive women to boot. So there's 2 things going on. Guys are probably looking at an attractive woman and then they see the wheelchair.
It's fun. We'll send Tiffany out. She'll go rolling by and we'll watch their reaction. Yeah. Then we'll send Mia out. We'll watch the reaction. Then we'll send Ati out, and we're like, all right, and now here I come. So there's like 4 of us, and we're like, but I got something new I was thinking.
Funny.
We have to go out to a club and like hide our wheelchairs and just sit there on the couch and just pretend and see what happens.
I would love to be a part of that.
They'll be like, can you walk with us over there? After you go get my chair behind the couch.
Yeah, I was thinking of that last night.
Do you guys have code words, like when you're out and people are staring or they say something inappropriate?
Yes.
What's PS?
People staring. Or our favorite is CVS.
Creepy vibe syndrome.
Creepy vibe syndrome.
What is the creepy vibe syndrome?
When you notice they're staring from across the room, and then gradually they get closer and closer to you, and then they follow you every single inch of the way that you may be moving.
Yeah.
What's the #1 question, Ati?
Oh, sorry. I was panting over here. What did you say?
What were you panting? You were being the creepy guy?
Yeah, I was.
Let me...
That's how it feels. Like you feel this
Oh, after
tingling
the
thing.
CVS, then what do they say? What do they ask?
Can you have sex?
Really? That's the number.
Yeah.
But that's not surprising, right?
Well,
No, not for us.
I wouldn't come come up to you and say, can you have sex?
Or how do you have sex, Jeff?
But wait a minute. In fairness, A, if it's the #1 question, there's a reason.
Of course.
And B, I'm not in a wheelchair, so the assumption would be that I'm okay to have sex. But
Right.
I think that would be one of my top 3 questions, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, now since the show's been airing, and one of the things I do say, yes, you can have sex, lots and lots of sex. I feel the question has now been altered, and it's now, can you have children? You know, but basically what they're trying to ask is, can you have sex in a different way? Or, you know?
Wait,
The doctor didn't sew up our backs.
Yeah,
Or
Auti's
the
fine.
doctors just
The
sewed up our backs.
doctor sewed up our backs. They didn't sew up anything
Okay,
else.
Yeah.
Oh. So, is...
I love this. Everybody's inquisitive here. And you guys are getting ready to ask all these cool questions, right?
Oh, I'm going to turn it over to this audience. For sure.
And is it yes, right? We say yes?
You say yes to whatever you want, clearly.
Okay.
I just want to ask each of you the same question. What part of your personality before your accident has become a bigger part of your essence? How would you describe yourself, Auti, before your accident?
Divalicious.
Okay.
And so now I'm extra divalicious.
Yeah, you know, so the hair and the dye. So your look is the same as I would recognize you just the same.
Right. This pretty much enhanced who we are. It brings out everything, the good and the bad. You can ask my husband, he's in the audience.
Auti, you're a bit of a flirt.
A little bit. I'm kind of flirting with this hot Puerto Rican in the front row.
Yeah, who we're going to meet later, Eric. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I even that alone, Tiffany, even that sense of sexuality is not something that we're really exposed to with people in wheelchairs. You tend to say, like people ask you, you tend to wonder, I wonder, oh, that's so sad. Nothing seems not happening in that world. No. Is dating hard?
No, it's not at all. People assume, and that's the problem. Too many people assume, and they have no clue what's really going on underneath the surface. And so, yeah, they're like, oh, you're in a wheelchair, so you must have an issue with dating, and that's not the case at all. Actually, I don't have enough days in the week.
Is that for real?
Yeah.
Her
No, kind of, but
so
no.
filled up.
No.
We can't even get a date with her.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Awesome. They worry so much. Oh my God, this is a big deal to put a whole show together. It seems like it wouldn't be that much.
Right.
A few people show up, you ask some questions, you go home.
I don't move my legs that much. Well, not at all. Can't move them at all unless I pick them up and throw them over my head. Oh, honey.
The next contestants in the show dance category, Auti Angel and Benito Garcia.
That was a clip from the hit show Push Girls on the Sundance Channel. How does it feel to have a hit TV show?
Like this.
Auti, we briefly met Eric. Auti, you're married, and your marriage is part of the show.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
It's, you know, it's difficult enough, as I keep being told, being a newlywed, to be married. But when you do have cameras in your face all the time, it adds another layer to being married. Have you felt that? Have you guys felt that?
We totally have. I'm out there, as you can see.
A little out there.
A little out. Hey. And Eric is a little bit more private, so I have to learn how to respect that and kind of tone a little bit down as much as I can, or he'll be like, babe, and I'll be like, okay.
Eric, what's uncomfortable about it for you? Is it just the whole idea that you're on camera?
Yeah, at first, the first few episodes was being the nerves, kind of knowing that the camera's right there in your face, and what should I do? What shouldn't I do? And then the producers, you know, I started realizing the producers saying, just be yourself.
How'd you guys meet, Auti?
We met at a barbecue. I happened to know his brother prior to my car accident because we were both dancers. And he came up to me and he was like, Auntie, I'm really sorry that this happened. I heard about the car accident, but you still look amazing. I was like, thanks, who's that? And he's like, my younger brother. I was like, younger?
Really? So it was an instant attraction?
Are you kidding me? Look at him.
Eric, what goes through your head as you start to fall in love with a woman whose life will not be able to offer you the things you might have thought of?
Well, I've always lived my life in the moment. When I first met her, I didn't see the chair. I mean, I saw her, and I saw her essence and spirit, and that was the first thing that I gravitated to.
So for you, this never really was an issue.
No, it was never an issue.
And I get it. I mean, if you'd said it to me on paper, I'd say, gee, I don't know. But even sitting next to you guys here, I don't think it would be a big deal to me either, which is surprising. And I would think would be surprising for a lot of people.
People forget sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
You'll be sitting at a table having dinner, and as soon as everybody gets up, you roll away from the table, and they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Or you pull in the wheelchair parking space, and then your friend like jumps out of the car, and they're like, come on, let's go. And you're like, dude, my chair. Like, or why are you parked in this space? Hello?
Yeah.
Well, keeping with your story, Audie, one of the big questions that Audie gets a lot, right, is whether or not you can have a baby. Cameras followed them to the doctors to find out. Roll it.
Considering my age and my physical challenges, I'm kind of worried that I might not be able to have a child. Why are your hands getting all sweaty?
Getting nervous. Yeah, it's okay.
Women who have had surgical procedures before, there's always the chance that there was an infection or complication after surgery that may have led to scar tissue or blocked tubes. And that could be a significant part of the problem.
I do want to go over with you a few things about paralysis and pregnancy. Anyone who gets pregnant has an increased risk of blood clots. Right. So obviously paraplegics, if their legs are dangling and they're not moving their legs very often, have a higher risk of a blood clot. And people need to understand that there may be different risks.
Audie, you're tearing up even watching that.
She wants to share something with everyone.
No. You have to watch the show. No, this is a very big and important part in Eric and I's life that we want to have a child together, is taking our relationship to the next level.
What do the doctors say really is going to be the biggest issue?
Well, their main concern is my disability, just because she was saying that I could get blood clots because I don't move my legs that much. Well, not at all. I can't move them at all unless I pick them up and throw them over my head. Oh, honey.
Now you know step one. One sec.
So, but, pretty much when I was in there, she was telling me certain things, and I was kind of nervous, so I was listening. I was like, okay. And then at a certain point, she started going medically terms, and I was like, womp, 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 womp. So I didn't know what she was talking about, and then we left. But what I do know is they showed in the episode is that I still got huevos. That means eggs.
So I wouldn't even dare ask you if you had any updates, since you have a television show in which we have to watch.
You have to watch. I cannot spoil this.
But I will say there is brightness in your eyes.
Is she glowing?
And a slight pooch.
Oh, don't ever tell a girl she has a pooch.
No, I have no idea. I was fishing.
Okay. Good fishing.
Are you concerned about being a mom? In a wheelchair?
I mean, I have strange children. I'll be in the grocery store, and I'll have a little baby come up to me and grab the back of my chair, and I'll be like, where am I going? So, I mean, these are things, and there are concerns, but, my sister had children, so I had the experience through her, which was my inspiration, or my biggest inspiration is that wonderful man over there, because I know he's going to make an incredible father, and he will be there for me.
It's pretty good seeing love. I like seeing love. Well, Angela, it would be no surprise for people to know that Angela was a model before the accident, and after the accident, and the show chronicles the challenges she has faced since then. Roll it.
To get back into modeling, I really need an agent. Like hell with the wheelchair. Why can't I model again? So I hired a photographer to take some new headshots of me.
Does the back of your wheelchair come down a little bit? Because I would want, like,
No, it doesn't.
I would want to shoot it like a beauty ad without, you know what I'm saying?
I got to show a part of the wheelchair to show that I am in the wheelchair.
What?
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Trust me. During the headshot shoot, I got a huge spasm, and I have to release it, or I'll go into what they call autonomic dysreflexia, and that can lead to a stroke.
Hold on, Anthony.
Wow, so two things. One, that happened a little bit during our last commercial break. Your leg spasmed.
So dramatic.
And but it did, right? It came off the chair, and a friend of yours came up and put your foot back down, and you said it just, what causes those spasms?
Gosh, I can't get all medical on everybody, but the only way I can explain it so that everyone can understand is, it's like, you know, like a telephone wire from the brain to the rest of the body. And you know, if you cut that cord, the signals are not able to go transmit and go down to the rest of the body to basically tell it what to do. So
sometimes it just misfires.
it misfires, but my body is still, quote unquote, alive and reacting.
Yes, which is why during the break you said, I heard the word sex, and my leg went like that. So Nordstrom takes really a risk in a way and hires you as a model in a wheelchair for a big campaign. That's got to be a...
What's the risk, though?
Well, that's a fair question, but I should say it's a risky campaign because stores are typically very conservative. It says a lot about them and the message they're putting out.
Absolutely, they're amazing.
And what was that like for you to be back in front of the camera?
It was huge. The way I say it, it was like putting a fighter back into the ring after a huge accident.
And how'd it feel?
And it felt good. It really did. What's funny is I got out of the business. I got into modeling when I was 17, but I got out of the business because I just didn't like the whole body image of what it portrayed. So I actually got out of it before I was 21, but I fell back into it after I got paralyzed.
Because now you have a different message to send.
Exactly.
I hope somebody has a question about sex because I pick up a lot of sexual vibes.
Don't ask if we have it in the chair, though.
Oh.
Eric, have you been in that chair? Closed captioning for the Jeff Probst. We are visiting with the stars of the Sundance Channel's hit show, Push Girls, Audie, Angela, and Tiffany. We're going to turn it over to the audience. Who has questions? These are women you can ask. Stand up here. Anything you want about what it's like to be differently abled.
I love the hair.
What's your name?
Thank you. My name's Mimi.
Mimi, what's your question?
My question is, what type of exercise do you do to keep in shape?
Oh my God.
Tiffany.
I was a fitness instructor for 4 years, and I'm going back into that. I do so many. There's so many different things you can do. I mean, you could even use the chair and do, you know, you could do anything.
How about for the legs?
Oh, you know, for the legs, you know, you do full range of motion. It's really important that you do that to keep your legs flexible. Otherwise, they will actually stay bent if you're not stretching out your ligaments and your joints.
And Audie, is that something you have to think about in terms of being a mom, is keeping your blood moving?
Absolutely, or else, you know, we all do it. Just, you know, even having a child and being pregnant, that would, prevent some
Did you
risk.
just say you were pregnant?
I think she said.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I don't know. I just asked you. Thank you. All right, there was somebody over here. What's your name?
I'm Shamia.
What's your question?
It's actually a sexual question, actually, a personal question. Because you were talking about putting your legs behind your head, so I was wondering.
You know, I cannot show you all that.
They're very sexual, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, can you guys still experience, is there still feeling down there? Can you experience orgasms and everything?
Oh, yes.
Everything still works? Okay. All right.
Did that answer it for you?
Okay. All right.
Eric looks very satisfied. Thank you. Who else?
I am very satisfied.
Coming over. Come on down. Join me.
Oh, yes. What kind of show is this turning into?
An honest one.
Awesome.
What's your name?
My name is Brenda. I was just wondering if people do stupid things like talk louder to you.
Oh my gosh.
Can you understand what I'm saying? Either that or they'll talk to you like this.
And then you're thinking, oh my God, did you not brush your teeth today? And you want to hand them a breath mint, but you don't want to be rude, but it's like, oh my God.
Or do they talk to the other person? Would she like to eat some?
Thank you. So, okay, we've learned a lot today. We've learned that being in a wheelchair means you have great sex. It means that people ask you crazy questions.
Don't ask if we have it in the chair, though.
Oh. Eric?
Use your imagination.
TMI? Eric? Have you been in that chair?
I'm too wide for it.
So this is what I'm taking from this, is that it really is in you. It's your choice how you want to live it, because you guys seem more alive, I got to be honest, more alive, more spiritually alive, but also just a sense of humor about life than lots of people that I meet day to day who are walking around on their feet and their hands work and they don't have spasms and they weren't disconnected. Tiffany, what is the secret? What do you know that we don't know?
I guess the secret is just being thankful for being alive and knowing that your life, you know you're alive, and that in itself.
And how do you convey that to somebody who hasn't had this experience? It's like I was saying, I was hiking. You talk about hiking. I was hiking one day, guy in his 70s. I said, hey, man, how's it going? And he said, at my age, every day is a rough day.
Yeah, and that's what he's putting out into existence. So whatever you're speaking into the world around you, that's what you're going to attract. It's very simple. If you're grateful to be alive and you're thankful for each and every single day, then you're going to live every day like it's a blessing.
Love it.
Have a good one.
Audie, close it out for us.
If you have breath in your body, if you have a heartbeat, you have purpose. Fulfill that purpose.
Nicely said. You guys are awesome. Yes. Thank you for being here. Being such a great guest.